So welcome to lesson number 2 in this module, and what I'm basically going to talk about in the next few videos is the different type of objectives for your campaign and what they're best used as. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what a PPE is, but I don't care. I want you to go over this because I'm going to basically talk about the ins and outs of a PPE, when you should use it, when you shouldn't use it. Same thing I'm going to do with a few other objectives. So it is important that you listen up, because even if you think you know everything there is to know about a PPE, you're going to be surprised, especially for those of you that aren't as experienced with Facebook ads. It's really important that you know the differences between the different type of objectives. So, for example, we got the PPE, which is the page post engagement. Now, the purpose of the PPE is, of course, to find people that are most likely to engage with your post. That's a like, a comment, a share. It's actually considered as well a view or a click. But mostly the main thing that you want to get with it is mostly likes, comments, and shares. It's a great way to get a lot of social proof, but it's not really a good way to make sales. It is sometimes you'll make good sales from it, but it's very rare. And it's usually because of the virality of the campaign rather than just the objective. But we still use PPE every single time we run an ad. Because the way that we use it is every time we launch a new product or a new ad, we will basically launch a PPE to create the post and to get many likes and comments. And after we have a few hundreds or thousands, we're going to use that same post and run it as a ad for website conversion. Because the thing is that, again, people are not robots. Seeing a post with thousands of likes or an ad with thousands of likes will get people to notice it much more than if you just run it as a website conversion off the top. That's just proven. So a PPE, we use it usually for that. We don't really spend a lot of money on a PPE unless it's making us money back. We usually just do it to kickstart a new campaign, a new product launch, to get those likes, to get those shares, to get those comments, just so the post looks good. Another thing you want to keep in mind is that, and this is a big, a lot of people are not aware of this, and I get a lot of questions about this, is that Facebook does not track sales that come from the post of the ad. People that see your ad through a shared tag or direct link are not really seeing the ad, but they're seeing a post. So essentially what I mean is that if you go and you scroll through Facebook and you see a sponsored ad, and you see an ad, you're going to see the left one. It's going to say sponsored. But if you go in and let's say you buy a product from that ad, okay? Facebook is going to track it. It's going to see that you bought. But let's say you go into that ad and you tag your friend in the comments. Now your friend is tagged. He's going to go in. He's going to see where he was tagged, and now he's going to see the post, which is the right one. Essentially, it's the same thing. It's going to see that you're going to see the same amount of likes, same amount of comments, but the way that Facebook recognizes it, it's not recognizing it anymore as an ad. It's recognizing it as a post. So if that person that was tagged, he goes and he buys through that ad, Facebook is not going to track that because that's not a sale that came through the ad. Same thing with a share, same thing with a direct link. So the only time Facebook will track anything that happens on the ad or after the ad is clicked is only if it's directly from the ad, not from the post. So if you go and you share the ad with your friend, somebody tags their friend, somebody shares it, and then the person on the other side sees it, he will see the post. Does not matter what he will do afterwards. If he buys, if he adds to cart, if he goes to the website for an hour, it's not going to track him on Facebook, on the Facebook ad, because it's no longer an ad. Okay, so it was important for me to get that straight. That's why it's really hard sometimes to track sales that come from a PPE, because the purpose of a PPE is to make the post go, pretty much viral. Shares, likes, comments. So a lot of sales sometimes don't even come from the ad, but from the virality of the post. That's why it's important to notice that. That's why it's really, really hard to track a PPE. The only way to actually do this with Google, with Google UTM tags, but then that's basically going to prevent you from using that same post with different ads. So I usually don't really use it because we want to keep the social proof. But yeah, anyway, it was important for me to put that out there, that people that share, tag, whatever, it's not going to appear on your ad manager, okay? Because I've seen a lot of people ask, like, oh, I got this in the sales, and I'm not seeing it in my ad manager, what's going on? Where a lot of the sales actually did not come from the ad, but it came from the post that somebody shared. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is that we always use a PPE at the beginning, not only to gain the social proof and likes, but we use it to create an image post with a link. that you can basically use that later on as website conversion ad. Now, what that basically means is that if you look at the right, this is the if you look at the right at the image, that's basically the image that you see here. But here it's cut. But you see that link. That link, it takes them to the product, of course. But that whole type of ad with an image and below that a link is not possible unless you do a PPE. If you go and you do a website conversion ad, and you create the post from a website conversion, you can only do a 1200 by 628. You cannot do something like this. So this is why it's really, really cool that you can actually create this post through the PPE objective, and then you can use that and then use that as a website conversion ad. And that's how most of our ads are. They have the link at the bottom with a big image. And you can go all the way from 1200 by 1200 all the way to 1200 by 1650. So creating a PPE, it gives you the option to use a 1200 by 1200 by 1200 and over image post with a link that you can later use as a website conversion ad. You can see that here where you actually get to the PPE, you get to the last step in the ad. You can see the text, the website URL, and the call to action. Now you have this in website conversion, obviously, and a clicks to website ad, but you cannot have an image as big as this when you go and you create immediately a website conversion, and you can only create like link ads. So that's why it's really, really cool that you can create this type of ad from a PPE and then use that same post as the website conversion, okay? Another thing to keep in mind, this is actually a really, really cool tip that we use every time we run new products. It doesn't matter for which one of our businesses. We start off, if it's a new product, we start off when we run the ad as a PPE, we run it to third world countries. So that's India, Pakistan, all of those third world countries, because the thing is that will get you a ton of cheap likes and comments. And you can get to about a few thousands of likes, literally spending about a few dozens of dollars, and you already have like thousands of likes and a lot of comments on your post. That just looks really, really good when you go and you can run that ad as a website conversion. As you can see here, this is just like your regular results when you run a PPE to third world countries. You'll get like 0.003 engagement. So with $30, you're gonna get quick calculation. With $30, you're gonna get about 1,000 engagements, which result in either a like, a share, or a comment. So we do that a lot with almost everything that we run, because this basically gives you that social proof that you need. And again, you can run it literally for about 6 hours and you're already going to get enough social proof. So how we usually do it is we run the PPE first. We run on that for like 6 hours. We don't even go on, we don't target immediately just like India or Pakistan. We just target worldwide. Because it's optimizing for engagement, Facebook will automatically just show it to the countries that are engaging the most. Which are usually third world countries. Not engaging the most, sorry, but are the cheapest to engage with, and that's usually a third world. So you don't have to go and target India or Pakistan, just go worldwide. It will automatically do it as long as you're optimizing for engagement. So you have a PPE campaign. And then we run that, and then after 5-6 hours, we're gonna use that same post, and this is important that you use the same post ID to run it as a website conversion ad, which you go into the business manager page post. I talked about that before. And then suddenly you're running a website conversion ad and you have 1,000 likes on it and you barely spend $15. So that's actually a really, really good technique that we do a lot. It doesn't have to go all the way to thousands of likes, but at least even a few hundreds. If you don't want to go and spend $30 on every product just to get social proof, you can go and even spend $5 just to get a few hundreds of likes. Because an ad that has a minimum amount of likes will always work better than an ad that has nothing on it, no likes, no comments. That's just how people react. People react to social proof. And again, I'm reminding you, make sure that you use the same post ID when you create the website conversion ad, so you can keep the social proof, which is the likes and the comments and the shares. Because when you create ads, you can connect it to the same post over and over and over again. You don't have to keep creating new ads and then you're restarting all of the likes and shares, and that's a shame. So yeah, again, run a PPE ad to third world countries on every new ad or product that you release, and run the website conversion ad a few hours after the PPE was launched, like I mentioned before. This will basically give the website conversion a good start, because everyone that will be exposed to the ad will notice it more due to the amount of engagement. And again, 21,000 likes, 22 comments, 60 shares. This probably cost a few hundreds of dollars, but again, you don't need to take this as an example, because we invest a lot of money in product testing, but you can go and invest as minimum as $5 or $10 to acquire almost 1,000 likes. So yeah, that's some cool tips that you can use with a PPE. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video where we're going to talk about the next campaign objective and some cool tips and tricks. See you there.